Good morning, y'all. Taylor here with y'all 106.7. Today we are joined with my new friend, Mr. Eddie K, founding member of Ricochet, singer, songwriter, instrumentalist. So many words to describe you. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm well. Thank you.
We're excited to have you here today.
Thanks. It's been quite a while since I've been in a station talking to somebody about music. This is really exciting.
Oh, it's like riding a bike, you know?
You never forget to fall off.
Right. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about a funny story about how your career got started with the band because you're a founding member. I think it's hilarious. You got to tell us that story.
Okay. I'll give you the quick story. My wife and I, we are from East Greenbush, New York, and we got married and we moved down to Nashville in '93. I knew one person in Nashville. He's a good friend of mine, songwriter. And as soon as we got here, we bought a house we really couldn't afford. We had jobs that were temporary. So I assumed I'd get in the music business the first week in town. Well, I put an ad in the Scene, our local paper. It said keyboard player available, pro attitude, pro gear, doubles on sax, harmonies, serious inquiries only. And I paid for a 2-week ad for $6.50. And by like the third or fourth day, I had so many crazy people calling me. They had nothing going on. They just, let's jam. No, I want to work. I called the paper and said, please pull the second week of the ad. I don't want this. And they said, well, it's already sent to print. So for 2 weeks, I had to field all these crazy calls. And I got so disillusioned because I thought I'd move to town and just start working. So I worked in a restaurant for that summer. And about mid-August, my wife called me and said, I came home for lunch and there's a message on the machine from a guy named Heath. And it sounds like they got stuff going on. You should call him. So I got home and called him and said, hey, Heath, this is Eddie. Tell me what's going on. He says, well, we have a band called Ricochet in Columbia, Missouri, and we're going to get ourselves a bus. We're going to go on tour. We're going to play clubs, and we're going to get a record deal. And we need a piano player. You want to audition? I said, absolutely. Where can I send the tape? And so at the end of the conversation, I said, by the way, did I get recommended by somebody, or how did you find my name? He said, well, we just came in off the road, and I was sitting in my apartment on the commode and was looking for something to read, and I just reached into the trash and I picked up this 2-month-old copy of The Scene, and I was looking through the musicians available, and your name came up, and I thought, I'd give him a call. He's probably working. So literally, my career started in the toilet. Literally.
But you know what? It's only up from there if you start from there.
Exactly.
That is great.
Yeah.
Just sounds like it was truly meant to be.
Glass slipper. Every step of the way for me has been opportunity meets preparedness.
Yeah.
Just I was ready, and the door knocked, and I opened it. And every once in a while, I had to kick it in, but
that's a key piece of advice. And back then, there was no social media, so the people who were calling, it's not like you could look them up and creep on them. It's like, I got these crazies calling me. I don't know you from Adam.
All hours of the day. All hours of the day.
Yeah. That's great. Well, it took off because What Do I Know peaked at number 3.
It did.
Followed by Daddy's Money, which went straight to the top of the charts. I love Daddy's Money.
Thank you.
Such a catchy song.
And I hear it on your station all the time.
Yeah, we love it. We play it a ton. How did you guys choose what songs to cut? Because that's kind of, you had like a signature sound.
We did. The cool part was Blake Chansey, who was the A&R director at Sony Columbia and also the producer of the Dixie Chicks. Him and his dad, Ron Chansey was managing us at the time, along with 2 other people. And Ron actually, I think he brought George Strait to town to get his deal. So Ron has been in the business. So Ron told Blake, hey, I've got this band out of Columbia, Missouri. They're a big vocal band. I'd like you to go see them. And Blake's like, Dad, I've had the job at Sony for 2 weeks. It's not going to look, I can't do it. So we got him to come out and see us in Indianapolis. And he's like, yeah, I get it. I mean, steel guitar, fiddle, 5 harmonies. Let's get him a developmental deal. So they found us 3 songs. What Do I Know was one of them, and 2 others from the album. We went in and we cut it, and we submitted it to Sony, and they said, let's give them a record deal. And then we found the rest of the album, and we put together what I thought was a really great debut record. And it had, of course, What Do I Know out of the gate, then Daddy's Money, along with a lot of other good stuff. And it was just, at the time, I mean, country was so happening, and vocal bands there was a spot for another vocal band. So we just kind of right place, right time.
Absolutely. And especially that time period, because that's all we play is the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. There's just something magical about that sound.
Truly.
I'm sure when you played Daddy's Money live, the crowd just went crazy for it.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still do.
When you think back on touring, in the 90s, early 2000s, what comes to mind? Any good memories? Any bad memories?
Well, for us, when we first started, we were in a Sprinter van pulling a trailer and a box truck. Then we graduated up into our first tour bus in June of '94. That's when we signed our developmental deal with Sony. So moving from a Sprinter van to a bus was tall cotton. It was great, but it was a 1971 Eagle. I think it was Kitty Wells' old bus.
Oh,
but
cool.
still, being able to lay down and sleep and have a microwave and a television.
Upgrade.
But we, like in '96, we were on the road 278 days of the year.
Wow.
Just we were working Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, every night of the week. It was relentless touring, and it never stopped. Especially when you get back in those days, if you had a hit, everybody wants you, and you just take as much work as you can. So
And
that's why we got so tight and so good, because we played so much. And had the
Literally
opportunity.
together all the time, 24/7.
Even before we got our deal, we were playing 5 nights a week. Because back then, early '90s, there was a bunch of places around the country play 5 nights a week.
And it's so different these days, going back to technology. Now when you go to a show, everyone's got their phone up immediately. Back then, I just bet it was so cool. Just everyone's just so dialed into the music. No phones in sight, just there to have a good time.
It was a different time back then. What I remember distinctly about it was being able to go to stations like this and do the meetings with the PDs and the MDs, and they'd have a group of 10 or 15 contest winners, and we'd sit around the lunchroom, and we would just bring our acoustic instruments out, and we'd open our mouths and sing and play, and it was just music. It was there. There wasn't trickery involved. It was just, wow, these guys really sing and they really play.
Just jamming.
Yeah. And so we showed who we are, and we really got to do that thing we did.
Well, let's talk about you.
All right.
Because you started songwriting. I don't know when you picked it up. When did you start doing that?
And we got our first piano in the house. I think it was about 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were training for this.
Just loved it.
Yeah.
My mom played piano. She taught me a few chords, and one of those things where it clicked with me. And I loved it because I wasn't a sports guy. I was in the musicals and all the dramas. But I'd go home every day and just play piano and listen to records and pick out parts and sing Billy Joel and Elton John and Manilow and learn my chords. And
So great.
never stopped.
Well, you got a George Strait cut.
I did.
One night at a time.
Yeah.
Big song.
Big song.
Love that song. We play it here.
Thank you.
Sure, that felt pretty good to get the King of Country singing one of your songs.
It was amazing because it was, I think we wrote it on a Monday in September, and Ricochet played, I think, a fair the night before. So I got in really late Sunday night, and I had a writing appointment at 9 a.m. And I remember getting up, and it was pouring rain. And I'm like, maybe I could skip this one today. But it was with Roger Cook. I'd like to teach the world to sing, amongst a million others. So I'm like, I've got to go right with Roger. So I showed up, and he shows up at the door and says, hey, mate, British accent. Hey, mate, Earl Bud Lee's upstairs. He's not supposed to be here today. He's supposed to be here tomorrow. We've got a ditty started. You want to come help us finish it? Or you want to start fresh? A ditty. I said, no, this is the day. I'm going to. So we went up, and he had it started. And then I remember they were saying, like, what about the bridge? Jump on the piano. So I came up with the chords to the bridge, and we all collectively finished the song. And, I brought the cassette tape home, and I didn't know really what we wrote because it didn't follow the format I was used to. 2 bridges, a repeating chorus, the word night 28 times. But then he demoed it, and it was crazy. And I went to the publisher with the bill for the demo in my hand, willing to trade her $250 for my publishing because I couldn't afford the demo. And as I told her that, she said, oh, wait, hear the song first. So she played the demo for me, and I'm like, wow, this knocks me out. And she goes, that's a smash. What were you going to say? Can I give you $50 a week on this bill? Oh, yeah.
Payment plan?
And then, George heard it in a matter of 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So your publisher pitched it for you then. Is that how it found its way into George?
It was a weird deal. It was one of those, and it was kind of being a little naive. I was out on the road in Colorado with Ricochet, and I got a call from a publisher. He says, Eddie, you don't know me, but I'm Earl Bud Lee's publisher, and if you're willing to give up some of your publishing, I think I can get this cut by a big artist. So I'm like, really? Like, how big? He goes, Brian White or George Strait? I said, if you send me a single song contract right now, fax it to this hotel that stipulates George Strait or Brian White, I'll sign it. And he did. And George cut it.
Wow.
Just like that. Glass slipper once again.
Yeah.
So, but it was great.
You never forget moments like that.
No.
And that song has withstood the hands of time. I mean, it's so good.
Thank you.
But you have other songs. Let's see, Olivia Newton-John, Window in the Wall, and you said Chad Brock he's going to release it?
Yeah, that's his plan. Yeah, he did a really, really great job on the version. I've seen the music video. It's just kind of one of those, it's done, but it's got to be prepared and all the stuff that goes with it. But yeah, Chad's a good buddy of mine. I've known him forever. I took a gig with Chad for a year after I left Ricochet before I jumped into MG.
Yeah. So. Olivia Newton-John, I mean, iconic.
In the short story, we wrote this song in 2016 called, me and Tom Payton and a girl named Tachi, called Window in the Wall. And it was about two people and having a relationship that they just can't seem to see eye to eye. And they're just fighting all the time. And wouldn't it be great if there was a window in the wall, maybe we could see the other side. So then we didn't even demo it, we just shelved it. But 2020 came, and that really bad summer we had in 2020 with the riots and everything just seemed to be going wrong. We decided, let's write the chorus to be more about the world and what's going on here, and let's change second verse. So we made it more of a universal song, and we cut a really great demo, and we pitched it over 150 times to artists in Nashville, not a bite. So at that point, if you've pitched it and no one's interested, then you send it to your friends and families and say, here's another one.
Yeah.
So Tom sends it to his cousin, who is in Atlanta going to a cancer treatment center. And she got the song, and she said, can I play this song for a friend of mine? Tom said, play it for whoever you want. Next day, his cousin calls and says, my friend is interested in recording your song. So Tom's like, okay, well, I just need her address. I got to send her 1,000 copies, and she'll pay me $91. Do you know her name? And Cindy said, she goes by Olivia Newton-John. So Olivia was at the cancer center, and Cindy, the cousin, said, you got to hear a song my cousin wrote. And Olivia, bless her heart, said, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And she went home and she sat down and made her husband listen, expecting this is going to be terrible. I need you to be able to say, yes, it's terrible. And she cried. She played it 3 times. And she MP3'd a copy to Barry Gibb and said, Barry, what do you think? And Barry's like, you should record this. So she got up out of retirement and recorded a duet with her daughter, and it's just absolutely wonderful.
Wow.
To hear Olivia's voice on anything that you created is just pure magic.
You have a lot of God winks in your story,
in
your journey. That's special.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Montgomery Gentry, because you touched on them. You are a tour manager, is that right?
Tour manager and keyboard player.
Okay. And
so I play in the band, and I herd all the cats.
So, yeah, that's a busy job.
It's a busy job, yeah.
How did you get connected with them?
Back when Eddie and Troy were getting their developmental deal on Sony, they were on the same label that Ricochet was. They were Sony Columbia. So they were the new guys, and they were managed by the same company we were. So we saw them in the hallways at management. We saw them at the hallways at the record label. And they didn't have a keyboard player when they first started. And when they were going to do My Town on the 2002 CMA Awards, their tour manager called me and said, Eddie K, could you please come make believe you're playing piano at the CMAs, because it's all tracks. But I need a human. Make believe you're singing. So I went, and it was the best I never sounded. It was great.
Yeah.
So after that, Robin calls me a couple of days later and says, hey, the guys are thinking about bringing a keyboard player on. Here's our set list. We're opening for Chesney at the Bridgestone New Year's Eve. Just show up with your gear. So I did, but they never hired me. But 23 years later, I'm just still showing up at the bus.
He never officially got hired. Your imaginary playing audition was so great. They were
I've got fired a bunch of times.
Yeah.
T-Roy would fire you in a heartbeat, jokingly. But yeah, great, unbelievable part of life to be associated with those guys.
You having lived it on the road yourself with the band, I mean, I bet you make the best tour manager because you get it.
I don't know. There's no best. It's just I do the experience, and being able to see it from everybody's perspective. I think that helps a little bit. But there's much better than me. But there's also some people that, could do it a little longer to get the experience. But I like it. It's fun to have your thumb on things, and it's taught me a lot. Mm-hmm.
Well, I imagine it's very different, heavier topic without Troy.
Yeah. Yeah, the world changed September 8th for us in 2017. And it was a beautiful day, and things just went terribly wrong. And it's one of those things where, you don't know how to react when you lose your best friend and your boss and your CEO. When it happens in front of you, like it did for all of us, it's just, you can't describe what you're going through. Mm-hmm. But it was sudden shock, and that helped us get through the immediacy of it. And then came the what nows, the rebuilding. Do we do this? Will the fans support it? Will the family support it? So it took many months for Eddie and everybody and Angie, Troy's wife, to just say, let's bring this back out on the road. Let's keep this music and spirit alive, because the guys had a pact. If either of them ever went down, the other would carry on, because this means the world to them, and it's their life's work. So we were very blessed that the fans and the promoters and the agents and the venues believed in the music they created and the fact that the legacy should go on, and it's magical.
Yeah,
it's been magical.
Honoring that promise.
Absolutely.
I mean, so many good songs
Yeah.
from Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah.
Like, you can't pick a favorite.
Right.
So many good ones. You wrote a song with Troy as well, didn't you?
I wrote one with him. Yeah, it's a kid's song.
A kid's
It
song.
was a kid's song. We wrote it for a group called Joey's Song, and it's a nonprofit that raises money for childhood epilepsy, and we got stuck on one of their compilation albums. Not stuck, but we managed to get it on there. But we recorded it at a KOA campground in March when we had a week off. We just kind of did everything on the bus, and we submitted it, and they loved it, and they put it on their album. So officially, I do have a Montgomery
That's
Gentry
cool.
cut. Yeah, it's a kid's song, but it's T-Roy's.
Yeah.
T-Roy wrote it too. It's just really, really cool.
Well, I'm sure that you have so many good memories with him. What is maybe one of the best memories that come to mind?
Truly, the night before the accident, we were on his tour bus. I got to ride with him the last couple of years, and we were just, talking about Bible verses together. And he said, "Hey, your kids go to Columbia Academy, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they both do." So my daughter's playing. His daughter, Kaylee, played soccer. They're playing Columbia Academy tonight. You want to have a little friendly bet? So we had a friendly bet, and as it turns out, they won. And then he showed me the picture of, he said, "Look at this. Both girls' teams are praying after the game, praying for each other and sportsmen." So we found this Bible verse that clearly stated about the victor, and it was a really cool, I forget it offhand. But yeah, so the last night we were together, we were talking about our kids, raising daughters, and reading Bible scripture, and just being brothers. And that's my favorite memory. That's the memory I choose to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on to that. It's so special.
Yeah, because that was him.
Yeah, family's the most important thing. Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
We will go on to a lighter topic. You have a cut coming out this year. What are you also most excited about in 2025?
2025, it's always about, a lot of my life revolves around music. So it's always about new projects and getting to bring people to Nashville and helping them record their first couple songs in studios. Of course, it's all about family. Our daughter just got married May 31st.
Oh, congrats.
That was a big deal. Because our two children came to be because we made the decision to move to Nashville.
Yeah.
So a lot of life just builds on it by itself. But there's so much music to be made and so many shows to be played. And Eddie's looking for new music for his new album. And he actually, during COVID, when he did his last album, he said, if we're going to do a record, I want my band to play on it, which is kind of like unheard of anymore.
Yeah.
A couple bands get to, but we got to go in and make a record, and it was so much fun, and it was a blast.
A question that we always like to end on: what advice you would give your younger self? Maybe when you were putting that ad out in the paper.
Wow. Just put it out in the universe. Let your intentions be clear. Let people know what you're going for. Connect. Be present. Show up on time. Never take no for an answer, and never give up. That's common sense stuff, but it's just good. It was a good. That's the advice I would have given myself. Now, did I do all that all the time? No, but looking back, I would have said, here, just believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, and give it all you got, and someone will listen to your music. And then from there, it goes where it goes.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
And if you start in the toilet, you can only go up.
Pretty much it.
And the best way to keep up with you, are you on social media?
Limited social media, because I'm mostly on a tour bus.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find me, Eddie Kilgallon, at Facebook, and then my website is eddieksongs.com.
And you can find Eddie K at a Montgomery Gentry show.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Yes.
Eddie K, y'all.